Hello YouTubers, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear. Alright, now last time we took a look at an amp. It was a Boss Katana Artist Mark II solid state amp. Wasn't sure if it was the right amp for me. So that really prompted me to try out some other amps that I have. I went through them, and I started out with these little Black Star HT5RH heads. They're little 5-watt heads, and they really sound great. The only thing is that for me, because I have also the 20-watt versions, I don't really need the 5-watt versions. So I'm thinking of putting those up for sale. Now, here is a big surprise. And I had it the whole time, but I just wasn't using them. Is I connected my Black Star HT20R H. They're basically 20-watt head version 2. Okay, and man, really amazing. I have two of them in stereo. And we can take a look at them here. Okay, so there's a Black Star HT20 head, and I've got one there, and there's the other one. Okay, and these heads go for about, and this was a while ago, and these are new prices, about $6.99, somewhere in there. And now you compare that to a lot of other 20-watt heads from different manufacturers, which easily go into the $1,000 range. You know, $1,000, $1,200, so on and so on. So in that sense, they're really inexpensive in comparison. Okay, and those were new retail prices. I'm sure you can probably find them used for less than the retail new price. And that was a while ago, so I'm not sure what they are now. However, I'm really quite stunned at the sound. You know, one of my favorites is the little Super Champ X2s, little 15-watt amps, and I really like those in stereo. But the Black Star just gives you a bigger sound. And man, it's pristine, I'll tell you what. Now keep in mind, I'm talking about the clean channel. But I have tried the distorted channel, and I'm very impressed with that as well. But on the clean channel, you have two choices. One is a pristine clean, and the other one is a little bit grittier clean channel. I particularly like the pristine clean. Is really, really nice. And it just gives you a bigger sound, is the best way to describe it, than the Fender Super Champ X2. In fact, the only gripe I have with the Black Stars is if they break. Most people won't work on them at all. And in fact, at one time I had a problem with the Black Star head and ended up sending it back to Black Star, and rather than fixing it, they just sent me a new one. You know, so that's my only gripe with the Black Star, because the sound quality is really, really great, especially for the price. You know, you're basically paying half the price of what you would from a different manufacturer for a 20-watt tube head. Also, it has digital reverb. Right, now some people like the tube reverb better, but I personally like the digital reverb. It's just fine. And on this one, it sounds really, really great. In fact, I've compared it to quite a few little heads, mini heads, and so on and so on. And the Black Star, for the clean sound, is really great. Now, it's really bizarre that the tone controls are the bass and treble are kind of combined into one knob, right? And you would think, oh, well, that's terrible. But actually, it actually simplifies things, and you can still get the sound you're looking for. As far as the clean tones, even though the tone controls aren't separated. Kind of bizarre that way. What else can I tell you about it? Yeah, and for the price, it's just a really great deal. And the fact that it has quite a few options, right, is where it really shines, that you can find the tone you're looking for. In this particular case, it's the clean tone. And we can take a listen to it here. it's not that the Black Star has bad reliability. I think it's just difficult to repair if there's a problem. And who knows, you may not run into any problems. I mean, I've had some other Black Star amps I've been using for a very long time, HT Club 40s, and they, no problems whatsoever. You know, now of course you may have to change a tube here and there, but that's kind of every tube amp. But I'm talking about, you know, cold solder joints, causing, you know, hiss and stuff like that, and who knows. And I haven't run into that at all. But I'm just saying, you know, in comparison to like a, you know, a hand-wired amp where it's very easy to work on. These are a little tougher, and a lot of tube repair shops won't work on them. Then again, a lot of tube repair shops won't work on Mezzo Boogies either. So, you know, so far for me, reliability-wise, you know, other than when I initially got it, have been good thus far. And man, the sound is amazing, really. Because you have this, on the clean channel, you have kind of the standard, you know, clean channel with a little bit of grit on it, which some people like. But for me, personally, my taste, just guitar-wise, is a real clean, kind of crystal clear amp sound. And you can definitely get that with the Black Star. And I found the distortion channels are pretty good too. In fact, really good, you know. I mean, I remember playing on a couple of them. So anyway, I'm just saying, this might be something you'd want to look into. In fact, I'd easily put it up to things like a Fender Deluxe Reverb and so on. And in fact, quite frankly, I kind of like the Black Star sound just as much as the Deluxe Reverb. Though I like the Deluxe Reverb, don't get me wrong. But it's not silent, you know. It's kind of has a little bit of noise to it. I found kind of a hum, you know. In any case, that's just personal preference, I guess. You know, but for the price, it's these Black Star heads, especially the version 2. Okay, there's a little HT5R8. We're a little version 1, and they're not as smooth. They're kind of rougher sounding, if that makes sense. The Black Stars on the clean channel just have that really sweet sound, you know. And when you're playing a chord or whatever, right? Let's just say just an A, you know. There's that reverb. Now keep in mind I'm also using the Plethora X5 for some additional reverb. Now you can also, I have my volume knob turned back a little bit to like 75% out of 100. If you turn it up to 100, it's a little brighter. Or if I take it back 75%, it's just a little warmer. It's just, for me, it's that kind of sound I'm looking for. It's really nice. how it doesn't break up at all. Now I'm going to switch the channel and I'll show you the other clean channel. Alright, now here's the other clean channel on the Black Stars. And I have two of them, and I've just switched the channel. And this channel is a clean sound. Grid on it, and I'm sure if you max that out you get kind of a like a clean channel being pushed, you know. And to be quite frank, this is what I find on a lot of amps. Is a clean channel, but that kind of almost distorts and things. And a lot of people like that sound. Personally, I prefer the real clean channel, where no matter what, it doesn't distort. Okay? And on the Black Star, you get both, which is great. You know, now, that distorted clean channel, I can turn down the gain and get, you know, similar tone, pushed amp that's not breaking up quite as much as this right now. But I just want to show you the difference between the two. And the fact that you can have both is really great on the clean channel. And in fact, that's probably why I like the Black Star so much. Right? Because I found that on other amps, the clean channel is not really clean. You know? And that's kind of what I prefer. The other thing is the gain channels on the little Black Stars are really great on the version 2s. I mean, I've tried that. It's really nice. Because usually what ends up happening is I end up, you know, paying for a dirt channel that I'm not really going to use, and they kind of compromise on the clean channel. And that's not the case here on the Black Star. I mean, man, on the pristine, clean option on the Black Star, I mean, the sound is just so good. It's really great. In fact, it's been talked about as being hi-fi, right? And that's a fact, because it won't break up, you see. I mean, you can push it pretty hard and it won't really break up. So a ton of headroom there. And can be quite loud at 20 watts. You wouldn't think so, but it actually is very loud. But I would say, even more importantly than being loud is, it's just a bigger sound, a big sound. You know, even compared to my little Super Champ X2s, which are 15 watt, for some reason the Black Star just gives you a much bigger sound. Alright, so if you run across one of these, especially a version 2 Black Star HT20, right, I would highly consider it. Now, is it as good as a hand-wired head? I would say probably not, because it's just going to be harder to repair, if it can be repaired at all. But that's if it fails, and, you know, it could last years without failing. We don't know. You know, but then again, for the price, you know, and I'm not sure what the used price is either on it. But I know it's going to be $600 or less for these days, I would think. And when you compare that to, you know, other 20-watt heads that are in the, you know, $1,000 to $1,500 range usually, you know, it's a real bargain. And the sound quality, I think, is really great. You know, I would definitely put it up to any kind of a Fender clean channel amp. And man, when you put two together in stereo, just super. I mean, one of my favorite sounds anyway. So I was quite pleased when I hooked these up. I forgot that I even had them, really. Hadn't been using them, but man, when I plugged it in, I said, I see why I have these. Because the sound was really great. Alright, so I want to show you that. If you see one in a store or something, you may want to try it, you know, and see what you think. And I'm very surprised at how good the clean channel is, and I think you'll be pleased with the distortion channel as well. Okay. Very good. So I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.